Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let me tell you a story about a VIP client who threw a fit over $112.47 and lost her damn deal. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Karen demands VIP discount for being a regular. So I, 18-year-old female, work at a retail store in the mall, and yesterday I had an encounter with a customer that I'm still kind of shocked by. It's one of those situations where I had to share it because honestly, I don't even know how people like this exist. A woman, probably in her early 30s, comes up to the counter with a few items, pretty standard. She's dressed head to toe in designer clothes, carrying one of those huge bags that screams, "I'm rich." The second she gets to the counter, she gives me the most condescending look. Me, "Hey, how's your day going?" Karen, "I don't need small talk, just ring up my items." Okay, fine, no problem. I ring everything up and the total comes to $112.47. Me, "Your total is $112.47. Karen, "Excuse me, that can't be right. I've been shopping here for years and I always spend a ton of money here. I deserve a discount." I'm standing there kind of taken aback because as much as I'm trying to be polite, I know there's no loyalty discount or anything like that. The store doesn't do that, but I try to keep it professional. Me, "I'm really sorry, but unfortunately we don't have a loyalty program that offers discounts like that. We do have a sale going on though, and I've already applied that discount to your items." She just glares at me like I've personally offended her. Karen, No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm a VIP customer here. I'm a regular. I spend a lot of money. I should get a better discount. You need to do something about this. At this point, I'm just trying to keep my cool because, honestly, I know where this is going. Me, "I really wish I could help more, but I can't offer a bigger discount unless there's a promotion running. That's just the policy." She huffs and leans over the counter to get even closer to me. Karen, "I'm telling you, I know you can override the system. Just give me the discount. I deserve it, okay?" I'm not dealing with this, but I stay calm. I can't break store policy, and I'm just trying to get through this conversation without making it worse. Me, "I really can't override the system, but I can ask my manager to check for you if you'd like." She sneers at me. Karen, "Fine, get your manager. Maybe they'll have some common sense." I call my manager over and she comes over all calm and professional, ready to handle the situation. Karen immediately jumps into her complaint. Karen, "This girl's refusing to give me a discount. I've been shopping here since the store opened and I spend so much money. You need to do something about this." My manager looks at me, then gives a quick glance at the total and just sighs. She knows exactly what's going on. Manager, "I'm sorry, but as my employee mentioned, there's no extra discount unless it's a promotion. We really value our customers, but we have to stick to store policy." Karen, "You've got to be kidding me. You're going to lose business by treating loyal customers like this. I'll never shop here again, and I'll tell all my friends about how terrible your store is." And with that, she grabs all her belongings off the counter, then literally storms out of the store without buying anything. All that drama, and she didn't even buy the stuff she came in for. I don't know if I should be relieved or frustrated. I just can't believe how entitled some people are. She honestly thought that demanding a discount and threatening bad reviews would get her special treatment. Like, calm the F down. And our second story. Karen wanted me fired. I live in a mid-sized town with an upper-class area nearby, so it's not unusual to see people with that rich aura and attire. Also, I'm 16 and law states you can't work until you're 18 or older. I also look a few years older than I should. Steady bit of facial hair and quite tall, about 6'7". About a month ago, my mom told me to go to the grocery store near our house to get some stuff she forgot to buy for dinner. It's a short walk, about 4 blocks away, so I agreed and she gave me some money to buy it with. I go down there, walk through the door, and see a lady in a big black puffy fur coat, designer pants and shoes, and lots of jewelry. I walk past her and make my way to the dairy section. While I'm searching for some cheddar blocks, I hear a ahem behind me. I ignored it, thinking it wasn't for me, and continued on my way. A few minutes later, I hear a somewhat sassy, "Hey, you!" along with a pat on my shoulder. I turned around and lo and behold, it was the same lady. Me being polite, I said, "Yeah?" She goes in an annoyed tone, "J-effing-C, finally. I've been trying to get your attention for like 20 minutes. Can you please, for the love of God, fire this stupid guy?" I get what's going on fairly quickly and calmly say, "Sorry, ma'am, I don't work here." She starts yelling, "Bullcrap! I know you work here because you're wearing the outfit, and I know you're covering for that stupid a-hole." Now, I can sort of see why she thought I worked there. The employees wear a red t-shirt with a logo on it, pants, and closed-toe shoes. I was wearing a red long-sleeve shirt, jeans, and boots. Now, I'm usually nice, but when I get annoyed, people instantly realize. A friend of mine once said I give off an intimidating aura when I get angry. I also have a major anger issue, and one of the main triggers is yelling. So I instantly get pissed. The lady realized this and smacked me twice in a row, then started yelling, "Don't look at me like that, you piece of crap." At this point, I completely lost my crap. I grabbed her hand when she tried to smack me again and shoved her away. She fell on her butt before I started yelling, "I already told you, you bleeping piece of bleep, I don't effing work here. Maybe if you cleaned the gunk out of your ear and listened, you could actually be getting help from someone who actually does." She just sat there, dumbfounded for a few seconds while a manager rushed over and asked what happened. Skipping forward, no cops were called and she went home. I got a gift card plus free cheese box. When I got home, my mom asked me what took so long. I told her the whole story, and the only thing she had to say after laughing was, "Well, that's what she gets for slapping my son." And our next story. A wholesome grocery store encounter. I was at my local Wegmans, the Rolls-Royce of supermarkets, the kind of place where the produce section looks like a still life painting and the employees wear crisp khakis and brightly colored polos with name tags. Meanwhile, I was dressed like a walking advertisement for I Peaked in 2012. Light blue shorts, an electric blue graphic tee, and a fanny pack slung diagonally across my chest like some kind of millennial Batman. Not exactly employee attire. I was using Wegmans' in-store scan app, which lets you check out faster by scanning items with your phone as you shop. Every time I grabbed something, my phone let out a loud beep like a real barcode scanner. From a distance, I guess it might have looked like I was doing something official, but my outfit screamed grocery shopper, not employee. The potato mission. I was deep in the Asian cuisine aisle hunting for a very specific brand of rice my fiancé insists is the only acceptable option. If I come home with the wrong one, I might as well sleep on the couch. That's when I heard a voice behind me. "Excuse me?" I turned to see an older woman holding a tiny Post-it note like it was a classified document. She looked slightly lost. "I'm shopping for a friend and she wants instant potatoes," she said. "I've never bought them before. Do you know where they'd be?" Now this woman had no smartphone, which in 2024 is practically a rarity, and she clearly wasn't a Wegmans regular. I already had the store app open, so I just tapped in instant potatoes. "Looks like they're in aisle 21B, I said, pointing toward the other end of the store. That's when she glanced at my outfit, the graphic tee, the fanny pack, the complete lack of a Wegmans logo, and realization dawned. "Oh my goodness," she laughed, embarrassed. "I thought you worked here." "Thank you so much for helping me anyway." I shrugged. "No worries, I was already on the app. Saved you the trouble of tracking down an actual employee." She smiled. "Well, you're getting some good karma today," and off she went on her noble quest for instant mashed potatoes. The aftermath. It was such a small moment, but it stuck with me. No yelling, no entitled demands, just a polite stranger and a quick act of kindness. In a world full of retail horror stories, it was refreshing to be part of something so simple and nice. Bonus for non-Americans, instant potatoes are a very American invention. Real potatoes that have been cooked, mashed, dehydrated, and turned into flakes or powder. You pour boiling water over them, add butter and milk, stir like crazy, and boom, mashed potatoes in under 5 minutes. They taste like real mashed potatoes if you left them in the microwave too long and forgot to season them. But hey, sometimes convenience wins. Anyway, that's my wholesome grocery store moment. Hope it gave you a little break from the usual chaos. Sometimes strangers are just nice, and sometimes the universe rewards you with a tiny potato-related win. This nice lady was polite to ask for help, no attitude, didn't swear and throw a fit, apologized when she messed up. Be this lady. And our last story. Karen tried to claim our dock. 3 months ago, this woman named Sherry bought the house up the hill behind our family's lake cabin. We'd never had a problem with anyone up there before. It's private property, peaceful, and most people keep to themselves. But Sherry's a walking grievance form in yoga pants. The first week she moved in, she marched down our driveway like she was patrolling the Queensland. "Hi," she said in this saccharine tone, "just wondering if you realize how loud your stock cars are. I can hear them clearly from my deck." My dad, who's been restoring vintage cars in that garage since I was in diapers, just blinked at her and said, "Well, they're cars, they make noise." She huffed and muttered something about quality of life and peaceful environment. We figured that'd be the end of it. Nope. Next thing we know, she's calling the county on us for reckless driving because we drive our side-by-sides along the dirt access road, the same one we've used forever. Then came the wildlife complaint because apparently our motion sensor floodlight was disturbing the deer. My dad joked she'd probably sue the moon next. But what really lit the fire was the dock. We've had our dock in the same spot for 20 years. It's a modest wooden dock, nothing fancy, but it's where I caught my first fish, where we launched the kayaks, where the kids jump in during the summer. Our property line, at least as we understand it, extended just enough to support it and the stairs leading down to it. But apparently Sherry's planning to install her own dock and didn't like that ours was too close. So what does she do? She hires some third-party surveying company and claims our dock is encroaching 2 feet 10 inches onto her property. 2 feet, not 10, not 20, not a whole dock, less than 3 feet of overage that's been there for 2 decades with no complaints from the previous owners or anyone else. Next thing we know, we get a cease and desist letter taped to our cabin door, real official looking. My dad opened it and read it out loud. "Your dock and stairway encroach upon the property legally owned by Miss Sherry, last name, and must be removed within 30 days or legal action will be pursued." I looked at him and said, "Is this real? She's going nuclear over inches?" He grunted, "Looks like it." I thought maybe we could talk it out. Maybe she was misinformed, so we walked up the hill the next day and knocked on her door. She opened it with a fake smile so tight you could snap a fishing line on it. "We'd like to talk about the dock situation," Dad said. "It's been there for years. Is there any chance we could work something out?" She didn't even hesitate. "No, you're trespassing on my property. I've contacted the county and lake authority. If you don't move it, I'll have it torn out." "Ma'am," I said, trying to stay calm, "moving our dock affects more than just us. The neighbor's dock lines up with ours. If we shift ours, he has to shift his. You'll start a domino effect down the shoreline." She just crossed her arms and said, "That's not my problem. Should have thought of that before building illegally." Back at the cabin, we sat on the deck with beers, stewing. It wasn't just the dock. This was a matter of principle. 20 years of peaceful lake living, and now we're getting muscled by someone who probably thinks lakefront means lake monopoly. We called our own surveyor just to be sure. He came out, measured, and confirmed, yeah, technically the dock was over the line by a sliver. But here's the thing. There's something called adverse possession in our state. Long-term open use without objection. That can get legally recognized. Our lawyer said we had a decent shot. Still, Dad didn't want to go through a court battle. He sighed and said, "Let's just move it, but let's do it our way." So we waited until the water level was low and spent the next weekend tearing the dock out piece by piece. We dug new holes, poured new concrete footers, and rebuilt it, but this time bigger. We stayed within our line, but expanded out toward the lake legally. Better decking, new stairs, even installed a little solar light system for night swims. It cost more time and money than it should have, but we made sure our new setup was top tier. Meanwhile, Sherry's dock still isn't installed. She's arguing with the lake authority over permits, which she apparently forgot she needs. Now she has to look at our brand new dock every morning when she walks out to her deck. Guess 2 feet 10 inches really did make a difference. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.